I'm Matt, and I want to talk to you about load planning. So I want to talk to you about the load that I'm on. It's a 2,800 mile load, and I drive a 65 mile an hour truck. That doesn't mean I'm going to go 65 miles an hour for 2,800 miles to calculate everything. I want an average speed to compensate for taking breaks and everything. So one of the ways that I can do that is average, I usually do about 55 miles an hour as my average speed, depending on how tight the load I'm on. And what does that mean, how tight the load is? That's the time between when you pick up to the time it delivers, and how much time it is between the pickup and delivery. So for this load, I had to pick it up at 1700 on the 24th, and I have to deliver it at 8 a.m. on the 29th. So that's 5 days minus 9 hours, 120 hours minus 9 is 111 hours total for the whole load. And it takes 2 hours to get loaded, so just deduct 2 hours off of that, so that's 109 hours total. But, there was a snowstorm going over Donner Pass on the way, and I had to wait for that. By the time my hours were over, it was time for me to go to sleep and get rest and everything like that. There was still maximum chains on the mountain. I was shut down. I got my sleep. When I was rested and ready to go, it was 8 o'clock in the morning in California, so 11 a.m. Eastern time on the 25th. So 11 to 11, 11 on the 25th to 11 on the 29th, that's 96 hours minus the 3 hours to 8 a.m. So I have 93 total hours to go 2750 or 2,700 miles. So I drove a little bit from when I picked up, only about 45 miles. It was 2,754 total miles that I'm getting paid, but that's unrealistic. So I'm just going to go with the 2,800 divided by 55. That was 56 miles an hour, 56 hours of driving, and so I have to calculate in all my 10-hour breaks. So for every 11 hours of driving, I have to take a 10-hour break, and for every 8 hours of driving, I have to take half an hour break. So 56 hours of driving, I know that I'm going to have 5 11-hour breaks, or 5 10-hour breaks in there for every 11 hours of driving. So there's another 50 hours on top of the 56. And then for each 8 hours of driving, I know I'm going to have to do at least 6 half-hour breaks there. So at least another 3 hours. So 56 hours of driving, 50 hours of 10-hour breaks, 3 hours of half-hour breaks, for a total of 109 hours, right? 50 plus 56 is 106, plus 3 is 109. That's what did I say it was when I was leaving on the 24th? There was 109 hours, and what did I have remaining after the snowstorm? Was only 93 hours. So with just the 10-hour breaks and the half-hour breaks and a little bit of time to compensate for using the bathroom, no other delays, I would be from 93 hours to 109 hours. What is that? It's 9 plus 7 is 16 hours late. I'm supposed to be there at 8 a.m. plus 16, that's 24. That's midnight. So I wouldn't be there until midnight of the 29th, 16 hours late. Just that little snowstorm that was there. That's just that one little thing. If I had to get a tire fix, or there's any other delays, or if somebody parks their truck at the fuel island where I go to get fuel and he pulls forward and takes a whole half-hour break, I have to compensate for the time that I'm sitting there waiting for that driver to finish eating his Subway sandwich at the pump. So that I have to factor in. That's also going to push me to be a little bit later. Red lights, slowing down for other weather conditions, most likely. The times that I'm driving through town, all the rush hour traffic, there's going to pose some delays. Construction sites, you're probably going to run across some of those where the speed limit's reduced, so that reduces my speed down even more. So I can just do 2,800 miles divided by 50 miles an hour, whatever. There's already 56 hours. That's a lot of time. There's not enough time to deliver that on time. with all the delays, and safety comes first. But one of the most important things I need to mention about taking breaks is that the break is meant for you to be rested, so that you can think. It's not about you just sitting here so that you're able to move the truck down the road and stay between the lines. It's about you being able to think and be able to see what's going on and function and calculate what's going on around you so that you can drive safely. I'm sure you can be tired to get behind the wheel and move the vehicle down the road, but can you do it safely when you've been awake for 24 hours? Again, it's really likely to forget things, not pay attention, think about other stuff when you need to be calculating where everything is, where you are, and doing all this work. And once you do shut down after driving for the end of the day, getting to sleep right away after your 10-hour break might be 3 o'clock in the afternoon, when there's no way you're going to be able to go to sleep at 3 p.m. or even like 11 a.m. You're still up until the evening, and your 10-hour break is almost over. You only get a couple hours of sleep, and then you got another 11 hours of driving to do. And then you're tired, and you got to get to the fuel island, and there's people that are blocking the thing, and you got dispatchers are calling, we need to get that load on time. Why are you late? Why are you late? How come you took so long at this truck stop? They're looking at your logs on their computer from their office somewhere else saying, oh, you took 12-hour break here and your 10-hour break was up here. What was the cause for that 2-hour delay? Then you say, I was sleeping. I was getting the rest that I need to drive safely. Is that a problem? So it's safe driving to get the load on time there safely. What requires you to be safe, that needs to be factored in as the conditions of the load. So you need to factor that in for your average speed when you're going somewhere. So if 55 miles an hour is good for you, if you feel like you can take a 10-hour break and leave immediately, you can do a 55. But really, you want to make sure that you calculate the time it takes you to deliver your load with proper rest, that you are getting the sleep you need. Your 10-hour breaks may need to be 12-hour breaks or 14-hour breaks. You need to make sure that you calculate in that time to get the proper rest, to slow down like you need to. And if it says, no, I cannot deliver this load in that amount of time for you, then you say, no, I cannot deliver that load on time to drive safely. Nobody should ever put you down and say you're not very good at doing your job, because you did an awesome job at being able to calculate all that stuff. And when they start switching up load times and you got to recalculate everything out, like on the dime, and say, oh, you hurry up and get over here and go pick up this load, and you haven't been able to think anything else out, and they're just rushing you, you need to stop and tell them, hey, you know what? I need you to be patient. I need you to give me a minute so that I can properly plan everything out, so that I can move and get this load picked up safely. Because safety is first. Safety, it always comes first before on time, before driving, anything else. Safety. So part of being safe is making sure that you get the proper rest. Part of being safe is planning your loads and knowing where you're going to be and how much time you have to get there. And being safe is also communicating with other people involved so that they know what your plan is, and then you can work together to make sure that whole operation is a success. So thanks for listening. I hope that you drive safely and you get enough sleep every night. And have a good one.